Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Vieira with the Stock Market Live.tv. Here you have live on the tape Apple at $112.26. I hope that you followed my speech during Apple live earnings, where I discussed in detail what to expect. My target price on Apple $120.70. The reason not to have a long position through earnings, although if you wanted to have one to sell the shares at precisely my price target, selling short the stock at $121.70, 100% accurate, where I described the reverse of Apple after hours, and I hope that you followed my guidance. I also said that Apple was about to lose around $50 billion in market cap, and this is the confirmation live on the tape. The facts, they matter, and they can always be seen live on the tape. So congratulations to everyone. Moreover, I also discussed here some earnings live, in particular in some of the companies most interesting to investors worldwide. The case of Tesla Motors, where I recommended if you had a long position on the stock to sell shares at $215.30 reverse into the short side. Today you have $192.23. So pretty simple, my friends. I already told you how to make millions of dollars investing in Tesla Motors in the past years. I never missed one call. So the only thing that you had to do was to follow my guidance in Elon Musk companies. I'm referring to Tesla Motors as well as SolarCity, that today you have here trading at this price $19.04, right? So I downgraded this stock to strong sell for the first time. Shares, they were trading around $70, a bubble, and then in 2015 we reiterated a sell or strong sell rating, saying that SolarCity was going to crash, and that was given at $58.80, precisely the top. So the shares, they collapsed, no surprise whatsoever. Moreover, during my speech discussing Apple live earnings, I said that I was not interested to have the Qs going much higher. And today you have $116.56, and you have to refer to my complimentary live market call, selling long positions in the Qs at $119.08. That is precisely the price that you had. If you remember, during Apple live earnings, you had the price precisely at $119.08. And the fact when Apple jumped to $121.70, it was a reason to sell short the Qs, okay? So today you also have a very large profit on the short side in the Qs, along with my call dumping Twitter, $25.15, reversing to the short side. You are aware of this, since also this was complimentary. So there are no surprises whatsoever with regards to the market action. And I wish you good luck going forward. Bear in mind that I would like to terminate with one of our and one of the most important complementary market calls. I'm referring to sell short Valiant and buying Apple. This investment strategy was posted to the blog of the company. When shares of Apple, as you are aware, I upgraded Apple at $93.40. At that time, it was to cover short positions. And the second time, the shares, they plunged to that price. I upgraded shares to strong buy, and then they rallied all the way up to this quarter, after hours, $121.70. So this to say that you had to have a short position in Valiant. As I said, and I discussed in detail, investment process since the very beginning, referring to Valiant as the most important selling short opportunity in the past decade, along, for example, with the case of Chipotle. and you had yesterday shares closing below $18, okay? And it was very important to have Morgan Stanley once again upgrading shares of Valiant ahead of a crash, and I refer to it as a very important event, and you had the opportunity to sell shares recently at $32 on their upgrade, reversing to the short side or adding to the short side if you wanted. So very important, since Valiant fell more 50% since then, okay, basically. So very important, these market calls. And you have to visit the blog of the company, where you have the article, Sell Valiant Fraud, and a video, and by Apple. So at that price, or at that time, the video, when it was streamed worldwide, shares of Valiant, they were trading above $60. I'm going to repeat, they were trading above $60, while shares of Apple, they were trading around $100, more or less, and 17 cents if I'm not mistaken. So there is no surprise whatsoever in the markets. As I said, we were going to control everything. We invest in the markets. We have been teaching you to invest in the markets using the ETFs. Bear in mind also the fact that we call it the crash in the biotech sector, referring to the 400 level in the IBB as a long-term top. So you have the confirmation of it, and you had probably, I don't know, like 50 stock picks for the crash in the case of the biotech stocks. I'm referring to Acadia Pharmaceuticals and many others, okay? So I already addressed this in detail. The case of Bluebird, that I downgraded to strong sell at $185.50. Recently also, around 1 month ago, telling you to sell shares at $75, the vicinity of that price. Shares, they collapsed, as you can see. So everything under control. We discussed in detail every single or the most important companies, including ETFs, so stocks. Also the case of gold, referring to this company, Newmont Mining, selling shares at $45 an half, reversing to the short side before the Newmont Mining plunged to $33.70. And also the case with the ETF. Therefore, if you notice, the chart was basically the same, the patterns and everything discussed in detail. So again, I don't see any surprise, and I leave you with the current price in Apple, 112.13 cents. If you are short Apple, and if you followed my advice, again, I repeat, Apple was about to lose $15 billion market cap. And the only thing that you have to do is to manage efficiently your trailing stops, okay? So thereafter, obviously, as you could see, we sell short on strength always when they are raising targets. We never sell short then on weakness, okay? So I repeat that if you have questions, you have the basic training course where I discussed everything in detail, also giving you long-term stock picks as the case of GoPro, that you have here trading at $12.62. Recently I addressed this as other opportunity to sell short shares when the share price in GoPro traded above $17. And you also had long-term stock picks as in the case of Sears Holdings for the meltdown, the collapse, or El Pollo Loco, that I also addressed precisely in the basic training course, when shares they were trading around $38, referring to El Pollo Loco as one of the best selling short opportunities long term, okay? And I also have to refer to the case of Chipotle that you have today at a new low, 52-week low in 2016, 359. Refer to my call long term selling long positions at 720. Downgrading to strong sell, one of the stocks to sell short the most in a decade, along with Valiant, precisely aiming at the collapse, as you could see here. Confirming, always live on the tape, okay? So some of these calls, they took quite considerable time, but that is precisely part of the investment process, where you have to be patient with regards to all these matters. What else to say? Well, the fact that, just to finalize, congratulations to Mrs. Clinton, since our algorithm predicted that she's going to win the US elections 2016. Our algorithm, which I named Perelman algorithm trading, in tribute to the Russian mathematician Grigory Perelman, that most people in the world are not aware of, although they should be, since he is the greatest mathematician alive. And that algorithm, obviously, it is to be used only in the capital markets. I'm referring to Forex, Bitcoins and oil, stocks and all the calls that you had here complementary, also addressing, for example, the case of oil, when to sell oil during the course of 2016, which has been a terrific call since it has been 100% accurate. And also for those that they are in my service, those small investors, a very important call in this company, Southwestern Energy, downgraded to strong sell at $15.40, saying that shares they were going to collapse, to crash, and they crashed. Okay, so this is very important since there have been several stock analysts that they were upgrading Southwestern Energy to strong buy with a target price of $20. Imagine, all right, and then obviously, if you visit the first page of the website, you cannot ever forget my call, Chesapeake Energy, a stock or a trade, an investment process where you didn't have any risk whatsoever. I told you about it. I repeated here thousands of times. And again, when shares recently they traded above $8, I was telling you precisely there live on the tape to sell short Chesapeake Energy the most. Today you have $5.35. This is the example of a stock where Mr. Carl Icahn already capitulated, along with some other stocks that he had, as the case of Transocean, which I addressed during Apple Live earnings, and so on. Quite frankly, I don't see any surprise in the market. I think that you have here terrific opportunities. You are going to have earnings in companies as the case of Herbalife, which I already addressed. And so, I mean, I discuss more than 100 leading companies in the US stock market, also in markets worldwide, in Russia, stock picks as Yandex, China, a very important market for us, and the best also stocks that are to invest in. Also bear in mind my call, which has not been a recent one, very important in Akamai, which turned to be one of the best performers in 2016 according to my projections. And so when you have, I don't know, more than 100 picks to use to decide where you wanted to be, all right? So that is one of your decisions, it is not mine. And the only thing that I had to say here is to congratulate everyone for your confidence in following my personal guidance in the markets for so many years, to have loyal customers for so many years, more than 25 years in the markets, discussing all these in detail. Obviously, you know, stocks are already in my brain, all this is fluent to me, it comes out naturally. And some of the things that we achieve that they are historical, there are so many, but I have obviously to refer to the fact that I never missed one call in Apple. I consider that is historical, to discuss a stock in detail, 100% accurate, you know, announcing in advance what is going to happen, and then you see it, you know, live on the tape. Precisely, I think that is the way you learn how to invest in the markets, although most people, they don't understand why those things they happen, but the reason they don't understand is then also precisely the reason most people, they don't make money in the markets, and therefore you need the help of a professional to guide you through the process, since not only takes many years to achieve And I think that most people will not ever achieve the state where I am, because it requires certain skills that they are not normal to find. But nevertheless, when I created the basic training course, I created it to precisely having in mind those individuals and even not smaller accounts and hedge funds, to give them resources and a methodology that works regardless of stock market conditions, okay? And also to, prove or to demonstrate that stock prices, they can be predicted, unlike 99.9% of people they believe, which is not the case, since most even if they see it live, they still have questions, how is that possible? And the answer, you have it, all right? And I think that is probably the most important, is people to understand that it is not related to technical indicators. And the reason I disclosed, I said that there are 1,000 reasons I disclosed the Apple live earnings, not only to teach investors, but many other reasons, being one of them precisely to demonstrate that Wall Street machine, that is worth probably hundreds of billions of dollars, it is useless. It has been always useless, because what they say, it does not matter. They don't control absolutely anything, okay? So what they say does not matter. And stock analyst is a figure, as any other person in the world having a job, but they cannot do anything. It's not about their formulas to calculate stock prices or price targets, and not Apple is the demonstration of it, as I would say, going back so many years to the case of Netflix, which I call it one of the best stocks to invest in, along with Intuitive Surgical. Very important, because Netflix at that time, when I called it the single best investment many years ago, they had Netflix as a dog, okay? So when they had Netflix as a dog, it was obviously the time to invest in Netflix and to have the vision that Netflix was going to be one of the best investment ever, along with Intuitive Surgical. And during this process, not also forget the fact that 3 years ago or 4 years ago, I called the crash in Apple 705, all the way down to $386. This was ahead of the split in Apple, and only then, when they start downgrading Apple around $400, I still remember the case of Credit Suisse downgrading Apple at $400. Split price, it was $55 or so. We started upgrading Apple to strong buy and saying that Apple was going then to reach new all-time highs, along with companies as Facebook, the IPO that came later on, and the best investment also for long-term investors, and the monopoly Google, that in my opinion, it has been obviously a monopoly and a strong buy since IPO. When I gave you here the alert to buy Google for the first time on IPO day, I still remember $97, okay? Thank you, I have to go, bye-bye.